Hello and welcome. In this explainer, we're going to dive into a really powerful and precise perspective on our origins and our purpose. It's all drawn from a passage in the Quran, Surah Al-Muminun, and it really weaves together biology, our existence, and even our accountability into one single, compelling blueprint for the cosmos.
So, let's just start with the central question this text really wants us to think about. Were you simply dropped here, a product of cosmic chance? Or were you deployed, placed here with a specific intention and a mission? This one question, it changes everything, and it's the lens we're going to use to explore this entire passage. All right, so let's get right into it. We're going to start with the most intimate story of all, the creation of a single human being. And we're not talking about some vague, fuzzy story here. This is presented as a super detailed account of your personal blueprint, starting from the most basic element all the way up to a conscious self. The story begins, well, very humbly, with this term salala, which means an extracted essence of clay. This grounds us right away. The idea is that your hardware, it's literally from the earth. There's really no room for arrogance when you remember your origin is basically refined dust. But here's the thing. While the hardware is humble, the software is described as being completely intentional. From that essence of clay, the process becomes incredibly microscopic and precise. The next stage is the nutfah, just a tiny drop. But what's really fascinating here is the description of where it's placed, in a qarar makin, a secure, fortified resting place. That language is so important. It suggests a process that isn't chaotic at all, but is actually staged, protected, and kind of engineered. A very fragile input placed inside a very secure environment. And this process just keeps building with incredible detail. The text lays out this clear, step-by-step biological development. The drop becomes an alaka, which is a clinging form. That form then becomes a mudgha, a chewed-like lump of flesh. And from that lump, bones are formed first, and then those bones are clothed with flesh. It's a very specific sequence. But the final step is the most profound. Then it says, we produced him as another creation. This is the switch flip. It's the jump from biology to biography, from just a physical body to the emergence of consciousness, the soul, and free will. It's the origin of you. Okay, so after detailing this very deliberate creation, the narrative kind of zooms out to show us the bigger picture, our entire life cycle. It's not just about how we begin, but the full scope of our scheduled existence, and that includes its planned conclusion. And the text is incredibly direct on this point. It just states, then, indeed, after that, you are to die. No soft language, no euphemisms, and this really hammers home a core idea. In this worldview, death isn't a mistake. It's not a system failure or some kind of cosmic tragedy. Instead, death is framed as a scheduled shutdown. It's a feature, not a bug, something intentional, programmed into the system right from the very beginning. But here's the crucial point. That scheduled shutdown is not a final deletion. The very next verse confirms it. Then indeed you will be resurrected. It's presented as the logical next step. And the reasoning is actually quite simple. If the initial, incredibly complex build happened from a blueprint, then a rebuild is, by comparison, pretty straightforward. The backup already exists. Okay, so we've gone from a single microscopic cell all the way to a full human life and its planned next phase. Now the lens pulls way, way back. Dramatically. We're moving from our personal blueprint to the vast cosmic context that surrounds all of us. This is where that idea of a cold, indifferent universe gets addressed head on. The text describes creating 7-layered heavens and then delivers this powerful assurance. So the universe, in this view, isn't just some random background wallpaper. It's structured. And this line implies that awareness, care, and order are built right into its very fabric. So from that huge cosmic scale, we zoom right back into our home planet. If the universe is attentive, then what does that mean for life here on Earth? Well, this passage presents our world as this meticulously managed system, like a complete supply chain for life. And that supply chain starts with the most critical component, water. And just notice the precise language here. In measured amounts. This isn't some chaotic downpour. It's a rationed, precise delivery system. It suggests that our entire climate, from rivers to aquifers, is all part of a managed process. And this managed system provides everything we need and even more. As you can see, it details provisions for survival, like dates, and for pleasure, like grapes. It points to olives from the sacred site of Sinai for nutrition and for light. It shows us livestock providing everything from milk to transport. Even our technology, like the ships that are mentioned, isn't framed as just a human invention, but as a provision that's enabled within this managed system.
So we've journeyed from a single cell to the scale of the cosmos, and then right back down to the very food we eat. So let's pull all these threads together to get to the core argument, the final takeaway of this entire passage. So what's the point of this whole narrative? Well, it seems it's designed to demolish two fundamental illusions we might have. First, the illusion that you are accidental gets replaced by the view that you are intentional. And second, the illusion that you are totally self-sufficient is countered by the reality that you are constantly being provisioned. It's a complete reframing of how we see ourselves and our place in the world. Which brings us right back to that first question. But now it has the full weight of the blueprint behind it. This is the ultimate conclusion drawn from these verses. You weren't dropped here, you were deployed. It's just a single line that tries to shift a person's entire perspective from one of cosmic chance to one of profound cosmic purpose. And that's a thought worth carrying with you.